Braveheart, 1995, is more than a film. It is a story carved into the hearts of generations, a portrait of courage, sacrifice, and the fierce spirit of freedom that refuses to die. But behind its unforgettable characters were real actors whose lives carried their own battles, triumphs, heartbreaks, and truths far deeper than anything captured on screen. Today, we look beyond the legend, beyond the costumes, beyond the myth of William Wallace. We explore the real lives of 6 beloved actors whose performances shaped the emotional core of Braveheart, and whose personal stories reveal a side of Hollywood few ever see. Some rose to greatness, some faded quietly, some left us far too soon. This is the truth about their real lives. If these timeless stories touched your heart, please like, comment, and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe to Silver Legends for more heartfelt memories from Hollywood's golden years. We truly appreciate having you here. James Robinson didn't simply play young William Wallace, he carried the emotional spark that lit the entire fire of Braveheart. His quiet grief, the innocence slipping from his face as he looked upon his father's death, and the silent resolve that grew in his eyes created the foundation on which the entire story stands. Without Robinson's performance, the film's emotional journey would have had nowhere to begin. What made his role unforgettable wasn't dramatic dialogue or long scenes, it was purity. It was the way he captured the ache of a boy forced to confront a world far crueler than he was ready for. That single moment when young William sees the flower placed in his hand by Murren, a tiny symbol of hope inside unbearable loss, remains one of the most tender scenes in the film. But in real life, Robinson's path unfolded differently than many expected. Braveheart was his moment in the spotlight, but fame didn't follow him the way it does for most child actors in blockbuster films. Instead of chasing celebrity, he built a modest but honest acting career, taking roles in film and television, working steadily, and choosing craft over attention. His story isn't one of meteoric rise, it's one of quiet resilience. He didn't become a global star, but he became something more grounded, a performer who contributed one of the most emotionally powerful openings in modern cinema, and did so at an age when most children are still learning who they are. The truth about James Robinson's real life is simple and deeply human. Not all legacies are written in headlines. Some are written in the hearts of audiences who never forgot the boy who started it all. Sean Lawler's performance as Malcolm Wallace may have been brief, but it carried a weight that shaped the entire destiny of Braveheart. He played not just a father, but the moral anchor of William Wallace's childhood. His calm strength, the sadness in his eyes, and the quiet dignity he carried into every frame gave the film its first true heartbeat. Malcolm Wallace is the kind of character who doesn't need speeches to be unforgettable. It was the way Lawlor held a silence, the way he placed a hand on young William's shoulder, or looked at the world with a mixture of sorrow and resolve that made audiences feel the heaviness of a life defined by duty. His death scene, simple yet devastating, marked the end of innocence for William and the beginning of a legend. Off-screen, Sean Lawlor was admired for that same quiet grace. He wasn't a man who chased notoriety. He wasn't a household name. Instead, he spent decades building a steady, respectable career working in film, television, and theater with the kind of dedication that often goes unnoticed, but never unappreciated by those who knew his craft. Yet his story carries a sadness that mirrors the characters he portrayed. In 2009, Lawlor passed away at just 60. His death came far too early, leaving behind a sense of unfinished chapters both for his career and for those who believed he deserved far more recognition than he ever received. The truth about Sean Lawlor is simple but powerful. He proved that you don't need a lead role to leave a lasting mark. His presence in Braveheart was brief, but its emotional impact was enormous. A reminder that sometimes the strongest characters are the quiet ones, the ones whose legacy lives not in fame, but in the hearts of the people they touched. Malcolm Wallace taught William Wallace where courage begins. Sean Lawlor reminded the world where dignity lives. James Cosmo brought something powerful to Braveheart, a presence that felt both fierce and fatherly, both battle-hardened and deeply human. As Campbell, he wasn't just another warrior fighting beside William Wallace. He was the embodiment of unbreakable loyalty, the kind of man who stands tall even when the world around him falls apart. Cosmos Campbell gave Braveheart its sense of brotherhood. He carried grief with dignity, faced danger with quiet strength, and offered humor and warmth in moments when the story needed it most. His bond with Wallace wasn't loud or dramatic, it was forged through trust, pain, and shared purpose. And audiences felt that truth immediately. What makes Cosmo extraordinary is how seamlessly he can shift between tenderness and ferocity. One moment, Campbell is comforting a friend. The next, he is charging into battle with the intensity of a man who has lost too much to turn back. Cosmo didn't just play a role, he anchored an entire emotional layer of the film. And, unlike many of his co-stars, James Cosmo's career didn't fade after Braveheart. It grew, it intensified, it transformed. He went on to deliver unforgettable performances in Trainspotting, Troy, The Chronicles of Narnia, Ben-Hur, and dozens of acclaimed TV dramas. But to global audiences, he became legendary through one role, Jeor Mormont, the stoic Lord Commander in Game of Thrones. Cosmos' real life reflects what he often portrays on screen: resilience, grace, and endurance. There is nothing rushed or desperate about his career. He chose characters with weight, stories with soul, and projects that let him bring depth rather than fame. The truth about James Cosmo is simple. He is one of those rare actors who never needed the spotlight to shine. His legacy is built not on spectacle, but on authenticity, on performances that feel lived in, honest, and undeniably human. And Campbell, the warrior he brought to life in Braveheart, remains one of the most beloved symbols of Scottish loyalty ever put on film. Patrick McGowan delivered one of the most chilling performances in Braveheart, a portrayal of King Edward Longshanks, so controlled, so precise, and so quietly merciless that he became one of cinema's most unforgettable villains. His Longshanks didn't need to scream to be terrifying. He ruled with an icy certainty, a cold intelligence that felt far more dangerous than rage. McGowan understood that true power rarely announces itself. It whispers, it waits, it consumes. And on screen, he became the embodiment of that truth. Long before Braveheart, McGowan had built a reputation as a brilliant, fiercely private actor, someone who valued intelligence over fame. He approached every role like a chess match, calculating each movement, each pause, each flicker of expression. That discipline is exactly what made his portrayal of Longshanks so haunting. He transformed brutality into something eerily calm. But behind the performance was a man whose life was already marked by weariness. By the time Braveheart was filmed, McGowan was older, quieter, and burdened by fading health. Yet when the cameras rolled, he summoned a presence so commanding it eclipsed every physical limitation. His Longshanks didn't simply rule England, he dominated every frame he appeared in. In 2009, Patrick McGowan passed away at the age of 80. His death brought an outpouring of admiration from filmmakers and actors who had long respected him as one of the most intelligent performers of his generation. His career from The Prisoner to Braveheart reflected a man who refused to be ordinary, who chose difficult roles, challenging themes, and characters that revealed the darker corners of human nature. The truth about McGowan's life is this: he never needed to chase the spotlight. He commanded it by simply existing inside a character. And in Braveheart, he created a Longshanks that time has not softened a villain so memorable, so sharply drawn, that he continues to shape how audiences remember the film decades later. Patrick McGowan left the world quietly, but not without leaving a mark. Some actors entertain, some actors inspire. But McGowan did something far more rare he endured. Catherine McCormack gave Braveheart something rare, a heartbeat. As Moran, she became the emotional center of the film, the spark that shaped William Wallace's destiny and ignited one of cinema's most unforgettable revolutions. She didn't need long monologues. She didn't need grand gestures. Her quiet strength, her tenderness, and the purity of her love carried more weight than any sword ever could. McCormack's performance worked because it spoke softly, yet cut deeply. Every scene with her, from the shy glances to the stolen moments beneath the Scottish sky, carried a truth that audiences felt instantly. Moran reminded viewers why Wallace fought. She reminded them what was worth dying for, and more importantly, what was worth living for. When she smiled, you understood hope. When she suffered, you felt the world break. And when she died, the entire story changed forever. Off-screen, Catherine McCormack chose a very different path from the typical Hollywood trajectory. She did not chase tabloid attention or blockbuster fame. Instead, she pursued roles built on artistry and meaning, the kind that demanded emotional depth rather than red carpet sparkle. She continued working across film, theater, and independent projects, choosing quality over popularity every time. That decision shaped her legacy. While she never became the type of celebrity saturating headlines, she earned something far more enduring: the respect of filmmakers and actors who recognized the intelligence and integrity she brought to every role. The truth about Catherine McCormack's real life is this: she is an artist first, a star second. And in Braveheart, she created a character so tender, so brave, and so essential that the film's emotional power depends entirely on her. Moran may not have lived long in the story, but Catherine McCormack ensured she would live forever in the hearts of those who watched her. Tommy Flanagan brought a different kind of power to Braveheart, a raw, unfiltered authenticity that could never be faked. As Morrison, he wasn't just a warrior standing beside William Wallace. He was the living embodiment of loyalty, carved out of pain, loss, and survival. Flanagan's performance carried something real, because so much of his life had already been marked by hardship. His scars, the ones etched across his face, were not the work of Hollywood makeup. They were the remnants of a brutal attack he survived years before Braveheart, a moment that could have ended his life but instead reshaped it. On screen, those scars told a story of their own. They gave Morrison a depth no script could manufacture: the look of a man who had already faced death once and refused to bow to it again. Every time Flanagan raised his sword, every time he stood wordlessly by Wallace's side, audiences felt an unspoken truth. This is a man who understands pain and chooses courage anyway. Flanagan's intensity wasn't loud or theatrical. It simmered, the kind of strength that comes from someone who has rebuilt themselves from ashes. After Braveheart, his career didn't just grow, it exploded. He became one of Hollywood's most distinctive character actors, bringing his unmistakable presence to films like Gladiator, Sin City, Alien, Versus, Predator, and then to the role that defined an era, Chibs Telford in Sons of Anarchy. His later work in Peaky Blinders and Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 2, only solidified what Braveheart first revealed: that Tommy Flanagan was not just talented, but unforgettable. Yet the truth about Tommy Flanagan's real life is deeper than fame. He is a survivor, a man who turned trauma into strength, pain into purpose, and near tragedy into a career that continues to inspire countless fans around the world. In Braveheart, Morrison may not have had many lines, but with Tommy Flanagan behind the role, he didn't need them. His eyes, his presence, his scars, they spoke the loudest. And for many viewers, Morrison's silent loyalty remains one of the film's most hauntingly powerful performances. Braveheart endures because it carries more than a story. It carries the souls of the people who gave life to its world. These 6 actors, each in their own way, shaped the film's heart. Some sparked its beginning, some deepened its sorrow, some embodied its courage, and others left us long before the world was done loving them. Their real lives remind us of something powerful. Heroes on screen are human. Off it, they struggle, they fall, they rise. They leave behind traces of themselves that outlive time. James Robinson taught us where innocence begins. Sean Lawler showed us the strength of quiet dignity. James Cosmo carried the unbreakable loyalty of brotherhood. Patrick McGowan revealed the chilling weight of power. Catherine McCormack gave the film its heartbeat, and Tommy Flanagan proved that pain, when faced with courage, can become a legacy. Decades later, Braveheart is still watched, still loved, still felt, not just because of its battles or its legend, but because of them. Here is the truth. A film survives when the people inside it give a piece of their soul. Braveheart survives because they did. And long after the last scene fades, their stories continue to echo, reminding us that some performances are not just acted, they are lived. If these timeless stories touched your heart, please like, comment, and share this video. And don't forget to subscribe to Silver Legends for more heartfelt memories from Hollywood's golden years. We truly appreciate having you here.